This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Sabrina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, a local power company being taken to task by an executive of an organization who is said to be feeling the heat as he calls into question the policies of that company. Jon Davis Roll has our top story.
When it comes to the sole power supplier on Grand Bahama, spokesman for the Alliance for Change says many residents are left powerless. He contends that there is an absence of customer-friendly policies by Grand Bahama Power, leaving many residents in the dark. Among them, a man who considers himself a voice for the people, C. Alan Johnson.
After carefully examining my bill, I realized that the Grand Bahama Power Company seemed to have adopted a practice of disconnect before lights even become 30 days past due. And the issue with that is that they have a policy that expressly different than that. They also, a number of years ago, on 3 occasions, promised that they would begin a process of notification of individuals before disconnect, allowing for reconnect, even in an oversight of overlooking a light being paid. They should at least have some sort of courtesy notification. But first of all, I think that the less than 30 days, at least less than 30 days past due, is an unreasonable process for disconnects of individuals.
Then Johnson says there is another issue, the time it takes for Grand Bahama Power to reconnect a customer.
Every single time my light has been disconnected, because I'm involved in a technology home-based business, at the maximum amount of time, within 20 minutes, I would pay my light bill. They'll disconnect me at 9:30. Let's say by 10 o'clock, I've paid my light bill. By 9:45, I paid my light bill, and I have to wait till 10, 11, 12 at night for a reconnect.
The activist is calling for an end to what appears to be a systematic plan which supports the haves and oppresses the have-nots.
I'll say they're operating a profit regime, for whereas they would disconnect 1,000 individuals, and that $30,000 will then become an operating seed capital. And I have an issue with that.
Johnson then posed this question: who is responsible for regulating Grand Bahama Power?
I would like for them to show me in law who is responsible as regulator.
Regulator for power?
Regulator for power. That sets what is called customer practices for disconnects, reconnects, etc.
Jon Davis Roll, ZNS Network News.
Now, in response, the power company says customers are mailed a monthly bill that clearly states the billing date, payment due, and any past due balances that may be on the account. And customers can also sign up for e-billing to receive an electronic bill or call the customer service department for their billing information. Additionally, officials note that customers whose current phone numbers are on file are contacted, reminding them that their account is past due prior to issuing a disconnect notice. The statement by the power company goes on to say that payments are due 21 days from the billing date, and accounts in arrears are subject to disconnection for non-payment. Once an account is brought up to date, GBPC will reconnect power. Reconnections are conducted daily between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. Officials say disconnecting is not the preferred method of doing business and urged customers with difficulty paying their bills to contact the power company's customer service agents. Officials say they are willing to work with customers to discuss payment options in the event there are challenges with timely payment. On the regulatory issue, officials note that the power company operates within the regulatory operating protocol established by the Grand Bahama Port Authority. In other news, the Commonwealth Union of Hotel Services and Allied Workers Union, led by President Michelle Dorsett, is continuing its efforts to secure better for its members at the Grand Lucayne Resort. The union was expected to hold several meetings this week with management and line staff to deal with matters pertaining to a new industrial agreement. The old contract expired over a year ago, and union executives are hoping they can secure a new agreement soon. While on island this week, President of the Trade Union Congress, the umbrella union for the Commonwealth Union, Obi Ferguson, spoke about other labor issues. He says he has a problem with the minimum wage in the country, and he's making every effort to address this matter.
I said to all and sundry that they cannot expect a Bahamian family to live on $150 a week. I gave them a figure. I told them $350 to about $400. I'm saying that because I believe in it. We can't run a country with a family of 3 and 4 and expect them to live on $150.
Now, the union leader says he's troubled by the way Bahamian workers are treated in their own country.
These things they call part-time pay, casual pay, on-callers, those things don't exist in the Bahamian law. But we're accepting it as part of our terms and conditions of employment. What is casual worker? You pay national insurance. If you pay national insurance, under Section 221, you're a worker. You entitled to vacation pay just like everybody else. But independent contractor, all these big time words, right? Nobody knows anything about those things. Look in Section 2, subsection 1 of the Employment Act, and that defines an employee in the Bahamas.
The government-appointed committee to review and to make recommendations with respect to the expiration of certain provisions within the Hawksbill Creek Agreement and other appropriate measures to promote and sustain economic growth in Grand Bahama will hold a series of town meetings to engage discussions with the Grand Bahama community. Now, 4 meetings are planned. On Monday night, the committee members will hold discussions at the Foster B. Pastina Center at 6:30. On Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m., the committee west to the St. Stephen's Parish Hall in 8 Mile Rock. The High Rock Primary School will be the venue for a meeting on Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Then on Friday, a similar meeting will take place at the Mary Magdalene Parish Hall in West End. And the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, ZNS, will be the local broadcaster for this year's IAAF and BTC World Relays Bahamas 2015. General Manager Diana Swan says ZNS, the People's Station, view this as a vital part of our public service commitment as the country's national broadcaster. She says ZNS will provide national coverage to the thousands of Bahamians across the archipelago who will not be a part of the 15,000 attending the 2 days of competition at the stadium. Swan says ZNS has an experienced production team that is currently putting together a show that conforms to the international standards and provide the comprehensive coverage that the national television audience expects. Now, she also added that ZNS will do its part to ensure that our efforts meet the approval of all involved. ZNS will work closely with International Sports Broadcasting, or ISB, the international broadcaster, in producing the live television coverage for the 2-day event, May 2nd through 3rd, for world distribution from the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium in Nassau, Bahamas. Also in news this evening, a young Bahamian holding a prestigious position at the United Nations Assembly in New York. His father is proud of this accomplishment and says all citizens of the Bahamas should share in this achievement. Italia Hall has the story.
He's not known in the Bahamas, but his father says Elliot Harris was born in the Bahamas, raised in Trinidad and Tobago, and he's now the Assistant Secretary General and head of the New York office of the United Nations Environment Program. A well-known businessman, Carlton Harris, opened up about the life of his son. He says Elliot Harris has over 25 years of international experience in the field of international economics and development policy analysis. He says Elliot wrote a paper on the United Nations and how they can improve their standards to the 21st century, and that's how it all started.
As a result of that paper, they asked him to apply for the position as assistant to the Secretary General, and this is how he became. But he's at present, before he was there, he was the head of the United Nations Environmental Protection Agency.
He says Elliot has been away from home for a long time, but he's always been a self-dependent and a determined person.
Misgivings, if we put it that way. We sent him away to school when he was 9. We never had a chance to help him, to tell him, boy, go do your homework. He has done everything for himself, won all these scholarships and everything. So, as far as he was concerned, it's just another step up the ladder.
Harris says every Bahamian should be proud of his son's accomplishment, noting that it is a distinct position for such a small country.
Elliot is a Bahamian. He was educated here and down in Trinidad. Trinidad does not know him. The Bahamas does not know him. Because he has spent all his time abroad, both waiting abroad places and so on. So it's very nice of you to the ZNS to have this report, so that some of the people, he still has some friends who went to school with him in Trinidad and so in the Bahamas here, and some of them who saw him. I have one or two friends who know about him. Plus, his mother was a teacher for so many years, and she never stopped talking about him. So we are very pleased with what he has accomplished. I mean, there's nobody as yet. Nobody in the Latin America, Caribbean area has ever reached this height in the United Nations.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition will continue in just a moment.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Freeport has been known for years for its clean, pristine environment, but in recent time, indiscriminate dumping has caused some damage to the city's clean reputation. Tonight, an executive with the Grand Bahama Port Authority is calling on residents to help maintain the city's clean image. Jon Davis Roll reports.
They were not talking garbage, but they were talking about garbage. A serious garbage concern here on Grand Bahama, which involves increased instances of littering and indiscriminate dumping. An unsavory habit which officials say comes with a hefty bill. A bill that residents on this northern island continue to pay when persons fail to put it in the can. Grand Bahama Port Authority City Manager Troy McIntosh.
In 2010, 2011, we spend $500,000 annually to remove litter, collect bulk trash, and to ensure that your bulk trash is picked up. Not budgeted in 2010, 2011 was indiscriminate dumping. We spent in excess of $24,000 to clean up illegally dumped garbage. 2013, 2014, we were back to square one. The piles continued. We spent in excess of $20,000, and in fact, it would have been more if we had agreed by management to clean up some additional areas. Would have cost us an additional $20,000, and those were predominantly tires.
Case in point, a stinging situation where students who were recently attacked by African bees while waiting at a bus stop here in the Freeport area. McIntosh contends that the main culprit, not the bees, but dumping bandits.
What we found out was the Africanized bees that were there was a direct result of illegal dumping. They paraded their hive in a box, which was a pile with styrofoam and other garbage on top of it. In fact, the pest control guy said to me, he said, Troy, of all the incidents we've had and we've called you last year with and we've had this year, is a direct result of illegal dumping.
McIntosh, while commending officials of the Keep Grand Bahama Clean program for their efforts, is once again making this appeal.
The main concern is stemming the problem, finding a solution to this problem that is out of control in my view. In addition to that, we need to be able to better communicate, I think, to our contractors, to the residents, and to put onus on them to be more responsible. Yes, we have some challenges economically, but again, this is our home, this is our environment, and we want to keep it clean, green, and pristine.
Jon Davis Roll, ZNS Network News.
Well, a local primary school is placing greater emphasis on keeping the environment clean and pristine. Sabrina Brown has more.
From trash to treasure. That's the theme educators at the Hugh Campbell Primary School are using to teach the young students the significance of preserving the environment. A science exhibition assembly was held at the school Wednesday morning, and students were able to show how they can play a role in taking care of their surroundings.
We are trying to educate students at a very young age that they can help the environment by doing certain things, and by recycling, reusing, and even redesigning some products that we use can help keep our environment clean.
Chairperson of the exhibition, Francina Brennan, says students from all grade levels were allowed to get involved.
We have students from preschool all the way to grade 6. They were very excited and they want to see who can outdo each other with whatever they created from trash.
The science teacher says creative methods such as the Trash to Treasure campaign can have far-reaching effects. The message is getting.
I think so with the young people. I think they're going to educate the older people of what they should do to keep our environment safe and clean and save it for future generations.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, last month, the Free National Movement hosted a Youth Ablaze talent explosion on Grand Bahama in celebration of the birthday of the party's founding father, the late Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield. Among the events held in his memory was a Battle of the Stars competition. Robin Major captured the top award. MP for Central Grand Bahama Nico Grant presented Major with the grand prize.
The development and growth of young people has been my mantra all my life. And so I am delighted to be able to have donated this laptop computer, which Ms. Major has just stated will be well used. I want to congratulate her, as well as all the other participants and the winners, because they were all winners in their own rights.
Now, the event was planned to give young people the opportunity to learn about Sir Cecil, a national hero, and incorporate it in their performance. The theme, continuing the legacy, paving our destiny.
She put on a tremendous performance, and at the age of 22, her future looks bright as we look at arts and entertainment in our Bahamas and how our young people are contributing to participate.
We want to let you know out there that Freeport is still alive, and the youth have so much to offer. And at this competition, it was really steep, especially with the other young lady. She sang so well, and to win the competition, it was so great. I want to thank you all so much because I wanted to go back to college and I didn't have a laptop. And that is just what I needed, and God granted me with it.
Well, it is born out of the I Can summer program. Director of the Grand Bahama Youth Choir, Kevin Tomlinson, says he saw a need to not just nurture the talent of the youth on the island, but also focus more on character qualities. He says a one-day seminar is planned this Saturday to do just that.
Our 4C method, which is curiosity, courage, confidence, and creativity, we have packaged that and we're really pushing that for children. We've seen results from children using what we've taught them and excelling, and wonderful reports is happening in schools and so forth. And so on Saturday coming, we're having an empowerment day. What we're doing now is creating a workshop day for students, where students from ages 10 years and over, where students can actually come in. I have Miss Janae Cash, Miss Kayla Pinder, Miss Myra Ferguson. These are all educators as well as professionals who are working with me and helping us create this one-day workshop for students 10 years and over.
Now, Tomlinson says the one-day seminar will be the first event to take place at the new Grand Bahama Cultural Arts Center.
It's going to be a hyped moment. It's going to be really good. So I'm excited about it, and I'm looking forward to all of the activities that we have and what's going to happen. I feel it's going to have a really positive impact on the kids. So it's open to anybody who wants to bring their children. Yes, it's free. It's a free thing. It's open to everybody who wants to bring their children. Just show up. Just show up and we add your name to the list and so forth. And it's the beginning of a wider idea. And so I'm excited about it.
So once again, the one-day symposium is for students 10 and over. It will take place at the Grand Bahama Cultural Arts Center, East Sunrise Highway, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And now to our nightly feature, Ask the Doctor.
I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Welcome. Altonet from 8 Mile Rock asks, I have pale patchy areas all over my body that's been getting worse over the years. Why is this happening to me? Thanks for your question, Altonet. And I think what you have is vitiligo. It's a condition where white patches can form on the skin. People of all ages and races can develop this, but it is more noticeable with darker skinned people. Melanin is produced by the skin cells called melanocytes. It is the substance in our skin that gives us our color. The more melanin in your skin, the darker you are. Vitiligo results when these color-making cells are destroyed, and this often occurs on parts of the body exposed to the sun. We are not sure why this happens, but some researchers think that this is an autoimmune condition, which means one part of the body attacks another. There is no known effective treatment for vitiligo. So if you notice rapidly forming patches where your skin color is being lost, please visit your doctor for a diagnosis and advice. Do you have a question or just concerned about your health? Please post it on PHA Bahamas on Facebook, email askthedrbahamas@gmail.com, or drop it in my question box at any of our community clinics. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Ricardo Liborn has a check on sports when we return.
Welcome to sports, everybody. I'm Ricardo Liborn here at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, where the work is carrying on for preparation for the IAAF BTC Bahamas World Relays. It's going to be a wonderful event here, and if you aren't here by Saturday, you're going to miss out on a treat.
St. George's Gym was the venue for the 13th annual Darryl Sayers Basketball Showcase. The showcase gives Bahamian basketball players the opportunity to showcase their talents in front of international coaches.
Well, as you can see, we have a bunch of young men trying to get an opportunity. And what we've done in this is 13th year of our annual showcase is try to have coaches come down from various different levels, whether it be Division I, high school, junior colleges, to try to see our kids. And what we've been trying to do is invite the best 80 kids that we can from around the country to give them an opportunity.
A number of coaches from various schools from all over the U.S. came down, and organizer Darryl Sayers says the coaches have recognized the skills the players have and they are getting better.
We have Ole Miss that's been here from Ole Miss University playing the SEC. Dwight Colby, who played in this program, he plays there. We have Stetson University, where we had Kenton Smith who played there. We also have Texas A&M that's here. We have Southern Illinois University of Carbondale is here. We got Edward Waters. We got Chipola Junior Colleges. We got Louisiana Monroe. We have Sam Houston State. I can't remember them all, but that's the few that are here that I can remember off my head. And we got a lot of high schools here. One of the things I say to the parents and coaches, we want the best kids. And what we're going to do next year is try to target those kids, because we had a lot of parents who call after the fact, hey, what happened to my kid? But we don't get to see all the kids around the country. We got to go by what somebody tells us most times.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Total Sports.
On Grand Bahama, it was the Radical fans and the adrenaline that helped to push the B&B Galaxy Pumpers to claim the win against the GB Shipyard Cruisers in the GBBA Finals. Point guard Stephen Burrows says it was a fight to the finish in Bimini against Nassau Stingers. However, they were determined to claim the National Basketball Championship title. He says the experience is one he will never forget.
It was a new experience because this was one of my first nationals, first appearance. As the starting point guard, I actually win it. I don't know how much people could say that, but I appreciate the opportunity and the chance to represent Freeport.
But head coach Barrett Clark says this talented group of young men could not play without the help of corporate Grand Bahama. He thanked B&B Galaxy for having the faith in them even when the chips were down.
I love my sponsors. B&B Galaxy, I love my sponsors. They're the best, they stick with me. We started the season pretty rough, 1-4 in the regular season, but they never gave up. They always supported me. We had the best fan base through in the playoffs as well as the championship. With B&B Galaxy, I must give a heartfelt regards to them. I really appreciate B&B Galaxy sponsors.
CEO of B&B Galaxy, Carol Roll, says she is pleased to have sponsored such a talented team.
I must congratulate the team for their hard work and to make this possible. I know this was not an easy win for them, but they went motivated, inspired, and they bring it on home. So I am proud of them.
President of the Grand Bahama Basketball Association, Rodney Crippy Wilson, is proud to have the championship remain right here on Grand Bahama.
Very proud of them for bringing another championship back to Grand Bahama under executive, my presidency, and hopefully, and I want to thank also the sponsor, B&B Galaxy, for sponsoring such a wonderful team.
And now the question is, will B&B Galaxy remain as a sponsor next year?
We will continue our support.
Shashina Roll, ZNS Total Sports.
And if you are thinking of coming to New Providence for this year's relays, get here early, folks. We're expecting the Jamaican team in here on Thursday with Team USA. Team Bahamas already in town for what's going to be a fantastic event here at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. That's your sports. So long from Thomas A.